that can be affordable. Looking at the word affordable, because there are products that are expensive, people can't have access to it. So that was like, you know what, you let me make it affordable as well, where people can actually have access to these products. And that was how the inception came. And then after my son's paracetamol bottle, when I sold that batch, I got some money. And then my sister too, my cousin, was like, oh, you know what, I've seen some nice bottle in China from Kiku. Let me buy it. Let me ship it. It was 300 pieces. I was like, hey, are you sure 300 is too much? Oh, hey, it's too much. Let's do small. She was like, hey, the way she's seen the thing going, she has that belief that it will go, she will ship it for me. And then let's see how it goes. So she shipped it. And then that was how it all started. There was no label at the time. There was no name for the brand at the time.
Not at all.
So I was just selling the oils. Until one day my cousin was like, oh, why don't you give a name to the brand, because people are now buying it. How would they identify the product when they want to refer you? So I was like, okay, that's fine, let me think of a name. I'll pray over it and sleep. When I wake up, I'll let her know. So truly I prayed about it, and then when I woke up, the name came Oil Kinggh.
Wow.
King of oil. So it was actually, I was now contemplating, should it be King of Oils or Oil Kinggh? But the King has to be part of it. And then I was like, no, let's do Oil Kinggh. And that was how it came about. I was also able to do my labels and then stick on the products and then continue to, we got to FDA process and got our endorsement, and that was how it all started.
It's a very beautiful story.
Yes,
You know what I've taken from this? That means that you found a problem.
Yes.
And then you provided solutions.
So
that is why the business is thriving, because it's like people have come to realize that it's not just about the outlook of the hair, but you should also look at the roots
of the scalp. Yes.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Not for you guys, but I've also learned something.
Oh yeah.
So before we move to our next question, I'd like to ask you, because I realize that there are a lot of mothers.
Yes.
Let's say first-time moms, especially when they give birth, they are like, oh, I want my child to be 2 years before I can resume work.
I get it.
But from what you said, is like your child wasn't even up to 2 years.
Oh, my son wasn't up to 2 years. My son I was still breastfeeding. So even with one of my videos, which I have on my phone, I was holding my son and I was advertising. It was crazy because he didn't want me to he didn't want me to put him down. And I also wanted to create my content, because I've come to realize that social media is very big. When you put your product out there, and you, as a growing business, I needed the audience. So even with my 20 or 30 views as at then, I wanted to create content for them to watch and see that this product is effective. So he was crying that day, and I know, you know what, you'll not stop me from creating this content. It's either you sleep or I carry you. So I held him and I did my video. Wow. So I felt like as a mom or a new mom, even if you have multiple children, they shouldn't even stop, because if they end up growing up and finding out that because of them you didn't chase the dream you wanted to do, I feel like they won't be happy, because they will feel like because you had them, you had to stop to your dream and your passion. And I don't think any child growing up would be happy to hear that it was because of them that their mother didn't chase their dream. The child will be very happy.
But some too say that it's not like you might end up chasing your dream and then neglect the welfare of your child, because a lot, there's this myth that suggests that when a child is not up to 2 years and then you are working, it's like you don't have time to take care of the child well-being and all. So it has made a lot of people feel like, when I give birth, let me wait for 2 years. So what do you think about that?
I'm not so much in support of that though, but then I feel like everybody has their own mindset to how they intend to live their life. But for me, I feel like God has given us women the power to multitask. So you can see a woman can do a whole lot of things. You can be cooking and be washing and be taking care of the baby at the same time. So I felt like, okay, if I can do these things, then I can also add this to it. So when I'm filling my bottles, I bath him. So I make sure in the morning I attend to him, bath him, feed him, so that throughout the day he's asleep. Because babies during the day, they are not so cranky. Yeah. So whilst he's sleeping during the day, I quickly do my thing. But if in the case whereby I'm doing my stuff and he wakes up, I breastfeed, put him back on my back, continue my feeding.
Wow.
You see? So that was how I was able to manage bearing children and also taking care of the business.
I know how tiring it can
Oh,
be
it is.
mentally.
It is.
Like any, it's very tiring.
Yeah.
But we thank God you didn't give up, and we are here today. So that takes us to our next question.
Yes.
So, what makes your brand unique from the others?
I would say my brand is unique because it is inspired by God. To be very honest, I'm not even going to cap. I'm not the Christian prayer fasting kind of, but I feel like I have that certain level of communication with God that sometimes I can just be there and some ideas will just swing into my mind and be like, oh, you do this. If you do this, let's see how it goes. So I was like, okay, fine. So sometimes even my manager that I've been working with for almost 6 years, she knows that I don't have plan. I can just wake up and say, okay, you know, Abiba, we are doing this. And crazy, when we do it, it comes out so, honestly, I don't even know how to put it. So how my brand has remained like that is because of how spontaneous my inspiration comes and how I follow through with it. So if you ask me right now if I have a plan, honestly, I don't have a plan, to be very honest with you, because I feel like God is the one who has actually planned everything to go as it is going. I didn't even know I was going to get a second shop. I started with this shop, but then looking at how this place was tight when my clients come, it was not, you know, it wasn't. It was, they were, I was like I was choking them in one fine space, but I was okay with it. Until one day I was like, now why are you doing this? I'm giving you these blessings, expand it. I know what I'm giving you, you know. And then I was like, oh, let me. Luckily for me, this shop was empty, so I just called her one day. I was like, Abiba, we are taking the next shop and we are adding it to it. And that was how I got everything ready. So this shop was ready in 3 weeks. So the idea is to just come, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that. I'll go to Pinterest, I see a design I like, I'm doing this, okay, I'm doing a flower, I'm doing this. Like, that's how it comes. So I laugh when I see people trying to compete, because if you are trying to compete with me, I don't have a lay down plan that, okay, you say, I know the next move. You don't, me, myself, I don't even know my next move. So that's how crazy I feel like God has been using me in this industry. It's
so
wild.
if I understand,
Yes.
that means you're trying to say that we can't do the business and survive without the God factor.
Yes, the God factor is the factor. Is the factor, because
I know someone watching this video right now will say that, hey, this one, they are being too spiritual.
Oh, not really. I feel like everybody in this life has something they hold on to. If it is not God you are saying, whatever it is you are holding on to, please hold on to it and let it be your root for whatever thing you intend to do. Yeah, that's what I would say. So for me, God is my root. So I feel like if I did not involve God in what I am doing, I don't think I would get to where I am today. Yeah.